What's going on, Facebook family? It's Steve Milia, 30 Ways, 30 Days. Today is day 23. Can you believe we're already at day 23? It seems like time is flying by. We've only got about a week left, and which really brings us into, we're halfway through December, and 2018 is almost gone, or 2017 is almost gone, and 2018 is quickly coming upon us. I see Mary Beth and Lynn and Vicky. Thank you. I will have a nice live. I appreciate that. Wayne, nice to see you from Long Island. And today I'm going to talk about a topic. If you read my hashtags, I put hashtag think outside the box, hashtag it only takes one. And my topic today is, well, first of all, let me just back up. I'm involved in a business that's very systemized. And although I haven't done a be systemized, and the word systems stands for save yourself some time, energy, and money, it's important to be systemized. It's important for your people and you, if you're working with a team, to have something to do, a daily method of operation, a weekly method of operation, a monthly and annual method of operation. So while all that's important, it's also important to be creative, right? And I've often been quoted many times of saying stuff like, hey, don't reinvent the wheel. And really what my message is like, in my particular business, we have a way of doing things, and the way works very well. And so don't come up with any other bright ideas, we're often taught to say. However, at the same time, there's certain aspects of your business, or certain aspects of your life, or maybe you're in a business that it does take a lot of creativity. Maybe there's not a clear path to success. Maybe there aren't clear steps and stepping stones as well. And I ran across an exercise several years ago that's been instrumental to me whenever I'm looking at new ideas. And I'll just, sometimes when you come up with so many different ideas, like say you have 10 ideas, only one or two or three of them are really gold. In fact, when I first started doing stand-up comedy, one of the things that I do to come up with a new joke is say I have a premise. My premise might be, I'm trying to think of something now, but whatever the premise is, I come up with a top 10 signs that you're from South Carolina, right? I'm here from South Carolina. Top 10 signs you're from South Carolina. Right away, we might be able to think of some funny things. And in order to get the best jokes, for me personally, if I do a top 10 list, usually by this, maybe the 5th, 8th, and 9th, or who knows, maybe the 1st, 5th, and 10th will be the funniest, and then I'll go for those, and as I'm writing the joke, I'll hit it with those 3. Now, the 7 of them might be a little bit funny, but they're not really gold. But to get to the gold, you got to come up with a quantity of ideas. So to get to the quality, you have to have quantity, in my opinion. And I've always been a believer that it only takes one idea, right? What did Uber do? One amazing idea has transformed the transportation industry. And now there's, you look at any industry, it just takes one good idea to move things forward, right? You ever just go to a restaurant that treats people a little bit differently, or they have one unique idea, and that's why you go? Or maybe you do your business with your dry cleaner because you like maybe there's something that they did, the way that they keep in touch with their clients. Maybe it was a handwritten letter. So my exercise today is to come up with a list of things. I want you to pick one goal. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail in a second. I want you to pick one goal that you're focused on right now, and hopefully you have some goals. If you've been watching me and this is day 23 and you're just watching but not taking activity, or not doing the assignments, or not coming up with goals and strategies to get there, then we need to go back. It's okay, you're just a couple weeks behind. We need to go back and watch from day 1 and get motivated to come up with something that you can get excited about. I see Matt. Hey Matt, how you doing? Sarah, Carla, Matt Curry, Lynn, Daryl Davis. Hope you're doing well, Daryl. And I think Vicky, I said hello to you. Hope everybody's doing good. So this is an idea I got a few years ago from Brian Tracy, and I've used this many times. And I'll give you an example of how to maybe do this. Like, one of my goals is to sell more books, right? If you don't know, I wrote a book called 162, The Almost Epic Journey of a Yankees Superfan. And the normal way, the first few ideas, I say, okay, I need to sell more books. What do I need to do? Well, I need to get more speaking engagements, and I need to maybe I call it Chamber of Commerce and see if they have any speaking engagements open. And those are good ideas, but those are pretty normal ideas. That's not an out-of-the-box kind of thinking, right? Here's an out-of-the-box thinking. I get in touch with Derek Jeter's publishing company, and I have Jeter help me republish, and we just redo the whole book altogether. That would be an idea that's outside the box, right? And it's important when you're doing these outside-the-box ideas that you're not critical at all, that you don't have someone sitting there with you, well, that would never work. You're never going to be able to get in touch with Derek Jeter. So it's just important during this phase of it to be really open-minded. And if you've got a partner, if you've got somebody that you discuss ideas with in a business format, that's fantastic. But everybody's got to have that, hey, we've got our blue hats on, our blue hats, or, our red hats, whatever that means, meaning our creative hats right now. So nobody's allowed to say why an idea won't work, because that might sort of stymie the creativeness of the people involved, okay? And no, I have not been drinking. I'm slurring over my words here a little bit. Hey, Will, nice to see you. And so, again, if my goal was to, how can I sell more books, right? Another goal is to call a couple minor league stadiums, right? I know that we have a AA Yankees franchise here in Charleston, South Carolina, the River Dogs. And I could have one idea would be to have where everybody in the park that day gets a book. I'll say, oh, that sounds expensive. Well, maybe we could work it out where I'll donate half of it, or I'll get a local business to put their business card taped on the inside. Everybody from John Smith's gets to learn about John Smith Insurance. Maybe John Smith pays half of it. Maybe the River Dogs pay half of it, or maybe I just pay half of it, or something like that. But that's an out of the box idea. Another out-of-the-box idea, many of you know I'm with Legal Shield. Hey, what if everybody that ever signed up in Legal Shield got a free gift from Legal Shield of my 162 book? Hey, I like that idea even more. It's not going to cost me anything, right? And so you come up with these ideas, and again, when you get to a list of and I want you to come up with 30, right? I used to do about 20, 21. I said, boy, by the time you get to 15, 16, 17, now your creative juices are really flowing. Now you're really thinking outside the box. And remember, no right answers, no wrong answers. What if on opening day, I hired somebody to skywrite over Yankee Stadium with my website, the162guy.com, right? What if everybody that is watching my Facebook Live today got a free copy of 162? Not going to happen. Just kidding. But if you like the book and you want a book, go to the162guy.com. So the idea is to sit in a format where you're relaxed, where you're ready to go, where you're sitting there with a couple of business partners and stuff like that, and we're saying, okay, we're gonna get some different results. We've been selling about 500 books a month. Our goal is to sell 5,000 books a month. What are some great ideas that we can come up with to be able to do that? So if you've got any comments or questions or anything that you'd like to say, I certainly would love to hear them. To get to the quality, you got to go through the quantity. Absolutely. Let's see if anybody has any questions. Carla just saw an old friend, Big Wave Dave. Hey, tell Dave I said hello and didn't know about the last 42, so I gave him the website. Well, thank you very much. Absolutely. And it's the162guy.com. And again, you want to do this in a format where your creative juices are flowing. When someone else has a good idea, say, man, that's a good one. You just keep going. You just keep going right after another. When I first got involved in network marketing, my brother and I did this. We felt like maybe we were running out of people to talk to. We never really said that, because you never want to verbalize things like that, right? Because that's just like saying, once you start verbalizing it, it almost makes it true. So instead of doing that, I say we need to come up with some great out-of-the-box ideas to continue getting referrals and continue. And then we just started coming up with, hey, there was a couple local newspapers where we lived in Long Island and New Jersey. And what we're going to do is we're going to call, if there's a phone number, we are calling that business and we're going to tell them what we offer. Every phone number. And it was just a rule. So my brother Mike and I would literally call every phone number. That's an out-of-the-box idea. Another out-of-the-box idea that I had many years ago, and I still use it today, is to have a business lunch, right, where it's a free lunch, where it's a networking event. And this was out of the box at the time because no one else was doing it. People were just simply calling up, inviting people to a presentation to their sales presentation. I said, well, no, let's call it a networking event. And oh, by the way, the last 10 minutes of the networking event, there's a special guest speaker. It just so happens that we're the special guest speaker every week. And then we even had another out-of-the-box idea where, hey, because it's a networking event, why don't these people just pay their own lunch? And so we started having presentations with 20, 30, 40, 50 people, right? All guests that were coming out to hear about it. We would still get 10 minutes of quality time to present our membership or our product, but it wasn't costing us an arm, a leg, and we were getting a lot of people. So, before you do this, or as you do this exercise, think out of the box too. Maybe think about what some of your challenges are. We're not getting our customers to come back to the restaurant. Well, why is that? Are you reaching out to them for an email address or a phone number, or do you have a recognition program? Like there's a few bars and restaurants around here that have a customer loyalty program. And you know what? Because of the customer loyalty program, I could go there and watch a game, or I could go there and watch a game, but I'll go to the place many times where I have a customer loyalty card because I just feel a little bit special. So do you want to make your customers feel special? Do you want to sell more? Do you want to market more? It's hard for me to individually coach you today because there's so many different people from so many different walks of life. But again, what I want you to do is get out a notebook. That's your assignment for today. And just ask maybe your question is, what are some out-of-the-box ideas that I can do to increase sales? And then just let your mind go and say, well, this would be crazy, but we could do this. And this might be a little bit nuts, but we could do this. But just let it go. And hopefully what will happen as a result of this is you'll start being somebody that just comes up with better ideas all the time. And how many ideas does it take? It just takes one. It just takes one idea to change your life, to change your industry, to change the world. Just one really good idea. And so my assignment for everybody today is to not only think out of the box on a long-term basis, but to sit down with your notebook or with your journal and come up with 30 ideas on how you can be more effective in your business, or just pick one goal on, maybe it would be that I get a personalized license plate. It says the 162 guy, which I used to have. Maybe I need to paint my whole car on New York Yankees, the 162. Maybe I need to get a postcard, and everybody that goes in the Yankee Stadium, I need to hand a thing about my book. Or maybe I'll do a blog. Maybe I'll do a daily blog on the New York Yankees. Or maybe I'll call every sports radio show. And, just whatever. You just got to keep coming up with them, keep coming up with them, keep coming up with them. So I'd love to hear how you're doing. One of my business associates, John Bush, did this a couple weeks ago. We were talking about how he could increase his recruiting numbers with his Legal Shield business, and I had him do this exercise, and then he came back to me, and I said, get back with me within 3 days, and I want 3 ideas, right? 3 days, come up with 3 ideas, go through the 30, and after the 30, really look through all 30 and say, okay, what are really 3 that I could get behind, right? Like maybe having somebody skyride over Yankee Stadium, maybe that sounds like a great idea. How much is it? Maybe I'll check into how much it is. But come up with 3 things right away. Maybe you'll have 5, maybe you'll have 6, but come up with at least 3 things that you can do to implement it, right? Maybe you'll get a fishbowl and you'll put it up at every restaurant in town. It says for a free lunch, drop your business card in. Guess what? Once a week you come and you collect all the business cards, you call them up and say, congratulations, you won a free lunch, right? I used to do that as well. That's another good idea. At least I thought it was a good idea, right? Any idea that gets you a little bit more excited about your business or about your goals, or maybe you really, this is the year 2018 is the year you're going to take your health in order, but taking the vitamins and going to the gym and eating and cutting out bread just ain't cutting it. What are 30 ideas that you can come up with that would be better for you? So this has been Steve Melia, 30 Ways, 30 Days. If you find this information valuable, please share it. I do want to report, though, there's been another gentleman online. He hasn't been impersonating me, but he has stolen my title of 30 Ways in 30 Days. Many of you are familiar with Chip Humphrey, who's a very good friend of mine, and we agreed 23 days ago that we were going to go on Facebook Live every single day, and all of a sudden today, I happen to be watching his broadcast, and guess what? All of a sudden he says 30 Ways in 30 Days. I was like, buddy, 30 Ways in 30 Days is my thing, okay? So if you want me to go get it copyrighted or whatever I got to do, Chip, I certainly will. But I'm already writing my book called 30 Ways in 30 Days. So you're about 23 days late. So you might have had 30 scattered ideas that were pretty funny, or 30 entertaining little segments where people could plug into. But Chip Humphrey, this message is for you. I'm coming out for you. That's my That's my little piece today. So everybody have a great day. Happy Tuesday. God bless everybody. And I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow when we'll be going over day 24, 30 ways in 30 days that you can have a more effective life. God bless. Bye-bye for now.